I've heard and read too many times that the spider is so weak, it's so crap that we don't even need to use it. Why don't we get rid of it? Apart from the fact that if you play chess without bishops and rooks, try to play just with queens. It's not a good game. Anyway, this video is my attempt to fix this. I'm gonna give back to the spider the importance and the recognition it deserves. I'm gonna show you now not one, but 5 different ways to use a spider in your games. You have no more excuses now. No more excuses. Use your spider. Okay, let's go. Okay, the first way to use a spider is place it to attack major pieces of your opponent. So if you use it to attack an ant, mosquito, or the queen of your opponent most likely will have to react. So in this case, for example, I play white. I decide to place a spider here on the flank to attack the ant. And importantly, if the ant moves, it will attack the mosquito behind it. At this point, if the mosquito pins the spider, then the mosquito will have spider power, which is not very likely for black. If black instead pins the spider with the ant, at that point we have 2 pieces available and the ant is still stuck here, because if the ant moves, the spider will be able to pin the mosquito. During the game, my opponent decided to instead pin the ant, and I want to pin the mosquito, which is pretty favorable exchange, right? We use spider, the weakest piece, to pin the mosquito, one of the strongest pieces. Another way you can use the spider is the so-called intermediate move. So in this game, Judoka just placed an ant here. This is not the most accurate move. Why? Black would like to play an ant, but if black plays an ant, for example here, then white will just pin the ant straight away, right? So what we do instead is we place a spider first to attack the ant. Now the white is forced to react, otherwise we'll just pin the ant, and it's again a favorable trade for us. So white will have to pin the spider. Now we can place the ant, and if white will go back and pin the ant, we've effectively gained a move, an extra move. Now we have a spider in place that we didn't have before. Plus, we have this formation called a pocket, and we use the spider to create this pocket and place a beetle inside it. In the same game, at some point, I decided to use a spider for a different reason, the so-called pin replacement. See this ant here is pinned the beetle. It's doing a pretty good job, but I would like to have the ant free for other tasks. So what I'll do is place a spider to replace the pin on the beetle so that the ant will be free. And this is what happened in the game. I replaced the pin, white went on to pin my beetle, but I have a free ant now. At the same time, white has used the beetle for another reason, what we said at the beginning, to attack an important piece, black. I'm not too worried about this because this pin can be broken if we place another piece here at some point, and the beetle will be free. I'll show you now an example of inaccurate pin replacement. Now white has pinned the beetle with true pin in line, and it would like to replace the pin using a spider. However, after this move, black will respond with this move, which means that once white replaces the pin, we'll actually create a ring, which is not favorable at all to white. So make sure the pin replacement is done in the right way. For example, in the same game, a couple of moves later, black will play this move in order to replace the pin on the beetle, create a true pin, and free the black ant. One of the best ways to use a spider is the ambiguous spider, which means you place a spider having in mind 2 different targets and your opponent cannot defend both. So in this case, black will place a spider with the idea of pinning the queen here and having a pin replacement. So white cannot defend from both unless pins a spider, but it doesn't want to pin a spider using a mosquito. So what we'll do instead is to defend against one of the 2 threats. For example, placing a grasshopper here to block the spider from pinning the queen. And at this point, black will be able to finish the second threat. And this is how to use an ambiguous spider. Another example can be seen in this game. Black wants to make a pin replacement, and at the same time would like to use a spider for another reason that we'll describe now. I will call it structural function. So an idea is to free this mosquito, okay, placing a piece here. This piece will be definitely pinned for a long time, so we don't want to use a valuable piece. The spider is perfect for this job. So what black does is placing a spider here, threatening at the same time to replace the pin and create the pocket and free the mosquito. So pin replacement and structural function, two threats at the same time. White will not be able to defend against both. In this case, black can decide actually which of the two is the best. It went for this, so freeing the mosquito with the idea of recover the white beetle. So I hope you enjoyed it, and now you know how to use your spiders. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do other videos about this topic or how to use different pieces. Subscribe, and see you next time.